Hey guys, welcome to the Andrew Wasson channel. I know I don't post on here very often, and I'm going to try and get better at that because I do have people reach out to me and they're saying, hey, I really like those philosophical videos that you put up on the Andrew Wasson channel. When are you going to get back to doing those again? I've had a lot of nice comments about them, and to be honest, I've been really busy, and this channel has sort of taken a back burner, but I am going to do a little more posting on this channel for you guys, and starting with this one here, again, another philosophy video on just what guitar really does to most people when they're practicing and playing and picking it up. In the very beginning, a lot of times people can find the guitar challenging, and unfortunately, usually within about the first 6 months or so, it goes to the closet and it just gets collecting dust, and they don't pick it up again. And maybe if they would have watched this video that I'm about to put out here, it would have made a difference for them. I don't know, but I think you have to equate playing guitar and even all the struggles that go along with it. You have to connect them basically to what playing guitar really can do, and that's bring actually a lot of happiness and also bring a lot of balance and help in a lot of other ways too, with coordination, dexterity, all that kind of stuff. So I think what we'll start with is just how, if you've met musicians before, if you've, maybe even, met people in your family that play instruments, maybe your dad or your cousin or your uncle played guitar, maybe it's just somebody else in your family or somebody that just lived up the street from you, like what happened with me when I was a kid and what inspired me to first play guitar. There was a neighbor I had up the road from where I lived, and they played guitar, thought it looked really interesting, and they had a guitar teacher that eventually came around and became my guitar teacher and got me started as well. So everybody that's into music and into playing guitar, let's say bass, whatever it may be, they tend to be a little bit more relaxed people. Maybe it's just because we've tapped into this thing in music where sometimes we'll pick up the instrument and we just nail a part, whether it's a rhythm guitar part, a guitar solo, whatever it might be. It's something that keeps your mind and your body really entertained and fresh, and it really actually helps a lot with your social life. So I want to explore how strumming chords and playing notes on the neck and all this stuff can actually lead to better health and better happiness overall. And the first thing I want to touch on, because it's one of the big ones in life, is stress and chaos and everything. Obviously in life we got deadlines, we got traffic, we got bills, we got your missing car keys and all that stuff. And it's almost like guitar can become in your day like your therapist. It's like the sixth string therapist, we could call it, because when you play guitar, it's going to reduce the cortisol levels, which are the stress hormone. And that's kind of like whether you're finger picking something mellow, or maybe you're just like learning how to shred out a new scale or something like that. Though that dopamine hit that you get out of it, it's almost like it's like a brain massage, and that surge of excitement is something that we all love, when we nail something especially. And if you're not aware of it, it's called a dopamine hit. It's your brain's way of basically giving you a standing ovation because you just played that guitar part so perfectly. I think it's like a reward system that musicians get used to over time, and we accomplish something and then we want to move on to something new. And it's kind of like every time we do that, it's nature's way of just kind of saying, hey, good work, do it again, learn another new guitar part, And guitar playing, I got to say it's a lot more than just flexing musical chops. It's almost like you might as well call it like a brain workout. When you play music, especially play music with other people, it helps build your focus, and it builds and improve mental function with everything. It's like, maybe next time somebody asks you, why do you practice guitar so much? You could just tell them, well, I'm working on building or boosting my brain power, you could say. They'll probably be so impressed with you, they won't ask you anything more about it than that. But yeah, it really does help a lot with that aspect. But I mentioned about jamming with others and playing with others. That's a huge factor of music. It brings people together, and it's almost like your backstage pass to those better connections with people. So whether you go to maybe an open night mic once a month or twice a month, or maybe you go to some jam sessions with your friends on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon, maybe, I don't know, it's even just like an impromptu sing-along at a party or something. If you're part of that and you're on the guitar and you're making that part of the mix happen, it's kind of like It's another level of fun that most people will never experience. Heck, I even got to say, even if you're just sitting at home strumming guitar on the couch or something, even that's going to make things, feel better and more connected for you. And then, as if you never did it at all, you didn't learn how to do that. It's always, I don't know, even if you're out and somebody asks you something or the topic of music comes up and you mention that you play guitar, or even if it isn't guitar, maybe you play piano or whatever, people always kind of see that as an extra cool factor, when you're out, talking to people. So keep that in mind. Maybe, that's what you need to keep the motivation up in those first 6 months to a year of playing, so that, you just keep getting and grabbing the guitar and working on stuff so that you get the instrument and the chops together. It's going to take you at least 2 years to really get your chops together in the basic sense on guitar. So just make it happen, Speaking of which, part of what makes it happen, there's a magic to music that I think everybody needs to be aware of and think about. And I guess the magic to music starts even at a very young age when you haven't played any instruments yet, and you just hear a song. Can you remember back to when you were a kid and you heard a song and you just thought, something about it was really cool. It was like there's something about the piece that was just really interesting. Could have even just been the vocal lines or like how it sounded, with a melody on any instrument. Could have been a keyboard or something. But there was something about a certain song that just grabbed your attention. And for most of us, who, especially people who play music, we can really remember back to those first few songs that just hit us emotionally. And I mean, that's what playing guitar is as an outlet, and it's letting you, capture that magic, and there's nothing else that's really like it. It's almost like as it happens, it lifts your mood, and it gives you thoughts of things that are going along and motivating you and wanting you to not only learn more music, but probably making you feel good about the day. It's almost, I remember hearing an old friend of mine that, was a musician that I was working with back in Los Angeles, and he said that it's almost like music is a therapy session for people who play music. It's making it, practicing it. It's almost like therapy. He used to say therapy without the waiting room, which let's be honest, playing guitar is a lot more fun than sitting in a waiting room of any kind, any doctor's office. So I think keep that in mind, that there's a magic that happens really early on, and then that keeps progressing as you get better with your instrument, especially when you get to a level where you can play things quite easily, fairly quickly when you're first learning them. So I'm kind of getting to the point of wrapping this video up, but there's something else I need to mention too, and it's the physical aspect of playing a guitar. When you're holding a guitar, fretting notes and all that. It does something for your hands. It definitely does something for circulation. Even though I've heard a lot of people when they get older, the arthritis kicks in and things can start to hurt. And if you live in climates where there's a lot of colder weather for some months out of the year, it can get you down a little bit. But I think the best thing for anything like that is to keep moving. Keep your hands warm if you play guitar. I remember reading about Leona Boyd when she would do concerts in a lot of those big music halls. When she do classical guitar concerts, she would often say, I remember reading in interviews about her, she'd run her hands under warm water and get her hands really, really warm before she would go down on stage to play. And I think that's important because that circulation boosts the coordination. It helps with dexterity. It rolls you along with a lot of ways that you don't even realize in what it's doing for you as a benefit. And everybody can attest to the fact that we got to keep moving. The more you are just sitting stationary, the worse it is for you as a person. So keep that in mind. It's important to go to the gym and everything, and to keep yourself strong and all that. But make sure that you are doing something more finer detail, like in the realms of playing guitar. And I think that guitar and even piano and other instruments are great for that. So the last thing I guess I could mention about is the sharpening of the mind that happens when you play instruments and you're working with music. I know that playing music is fun. Everybody looks at, when they can get their instrument chops down, it is fun to grab the instrument and play. But it's a total game changer for the sharpness that it does for your mind. It's almost like, not just is it putting you in a better mood, but it's like, if it makes somehow when you perform music and you have music as a part of your life and you can play it on an instrument, it's almost like it keeps you better connected in life. And I think that if we jam with others, if we enjoy all the vibes music give us, and think about what it does for our brain and our soul, and how it like helps us so much, it's really something to keep going at, even if you're in those first 2 years or so playing guitar or piano or whatever it may be, and it just feels like you're constantly going through those stumbling blocks, battling frustration. The good news is, like, it just gets easier. The more you play, the more chops that you build, it just gets a lot easier for you. So keep all this stuff in mind. There's some really good concepts here. I am always looking at more information about this stuff, and I just came across another article that was done as an essay for somebody for their PhD project at a university in the States, and it was talking about looking at the life of guitar players and bass players, actually, just those two instruments. And it was really interesting. Maybe I'll kind of break down some thoughts about that in the future, but I think what I'll maybe use my second channel with here on Andrew Wasson on YouTube is to sort of share these kinds of stories with you. I do this stuff too through my Patreon. I do a Thursday hang that I post, and if you go to patreon.com/Creative Guitar Studio for the $15 a month membership, you can join and access those. They come out every Thursday night, and it's just called the Thursday hang, and I do discussions like this, but there's also lessons mixed in there as well. And maybe before I wrap up, I should mention too our donation drive that we're doing every month. It's for the, if you haven't gotten yourself a copy of it yet, it's the Handouts Collection ebook. There's tons of great stuff in here. You can do a donation of as little as $5. I'll leave a link to that ebook that you can get in the description box below. I also have a link after you do your donation and you get the ebook to a company called Print Me One, and they will make a hard copy for you just like this, and they'll send it right to your house, and they're fantastic. They do great work. They made this one right here. So they spiral bind it. You can even put a heavier cover stock. It's all color printing. Very reasonable cost to get those. So anyway, guys, I'll leave the link to the donation there so you can get the ebook, and otherwise have a great week. I will catch up with you for another one of these philosophy videos real soon. I can't say exactly specific days and exactly when in the week and through the month I'll put these out, but whenever I have time, I will keep making them for you and rejuvenate this channel as well. Remember to follow me on my main YouTube channel as well, which is just Creative Guitar Studio. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll catch up with you next time, and till then, keep practicing and jamming and having fun on guitar. Bye for now. With a free membership, you'll be able to access all the free lesson material, including a collection of 6 years of YouTube archives, where there are hundreds of videos, PDF handouts, and MP3 jam tracks. Plus, with a free membership, you'll gain access to the Quick Licks program, a 30-lesson course covering guitar licks in all playing styles across all types of scales and arpeggios. When you sign up for a paid membership, you'll get access to my core curriculum, including my beginner, intermediate, and advanced guitar programs. Plus, there's also my elective courses on the site, like acoustic guitar, guitar technique, guitar soloing, ear training, music reading, and many others. Go check it out. You're going to love it. The website is creativeguitarstudio.com.